Hey, what's up guys? I have a quick tip today to go ahead and help you overcome fear. So let's say we're fearful about speaking on stage in front of like 1,000 people. That's a pretty common one to be afraid of. So usually the advice would be, let's start off by maybe speaking in front of just a couple people, friends and family. You're not worried about their judgment. And afterwards, you talk to a bigger group, and eventually you're able to stand in front of a lot of people, 1,000 for example, and then speak comfortably. It's always in the same lane. If I'm afraid of talking in front of people, a lot of people, let me practice on talking in front of a little bit of people. But there's another approach to overcoming fear of, let's say, talking in front of 1,000 people. And that's to go ahead and help overcome fear altogether. Because you see, if we have fear of talking in front of 1,000 people, for example, then that means that fear that we have is not just towards talking in front of 1,000 people. It's also in other parts of our life. And if we focus on actually decreasing fear in general in us, in other aspects, we would feel more confident across the board. There's a line, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything else. And there is a lot of truth in that. And so therefore, what I actually want to say to that is that the way we are in one thing, our state of being in one thing, is our state of being in everything else. In other words, if I am afraid, if I'm a state of fear in this thing, then I will carry over and have more of a state of being of fear in everything else. Even if I am doing these things fine, but I'm afraid of this. But the state that I'm in, if I'm used to being in a state of fear, then it still gets carried over. It's just some things I'm used to doing it, so I'm not as afraid. But that state of being, you see, that state of being who we are, that gets carried over because we are the same in everything that we do. It's still coming from us. It's just different versions of us. So then when we want to go ahead and overcome fear of, let's say, talking in front in public, all we do is focus on something else that we have some type of fear around. Here's a little trick on to it. Find something that is completely different. And it could be the silliest things, like sing out loud when you're walking down the street, or wearing something funky, like wear a onesie and go grocery shopping. I don't know, I'm just coming up with bad examples, right? But just anything random that you might also be afraid in, and you may not even care about doing the thing, but you're just simply doing it to go ahead and overcome self-judgment. Overcome fear about what other people think of you. And then when we go ahead and do that, then the thing that we actually care about, we become less fearful in it. And we'll find ourselves being able to feel more confident about ourselves. We get out of our head, we become less self-conscious, and then we're able to go and do that thing, the real thing that we actually care about doing. So try it out. Really, really simple trick to do it, and it could be anything. It could literally be anything, but just try it out though, and you'll see what I mean. And a lot of times you may not even know exactly what it's going to open up when you go ahead and do these things that you're usually embarrassed to do, but you just go ahead and just try it out and just do it anyways. For me, last story here is I was always afraid to dance, openly. And so when I do get to the club before, I would sit there and I kind of do this hitch thing and I just kind of move around, but I'm barely even dancing. I'm barely even moving. And I would watch other people and I get so envious about how they're able to dance so free. And so I started to work on that. And when I started to be able to dance really, really freely, other parts of my life opened up. And one of them was being able to express more freely, make content like videos like this, but being able to speak in a more flow. That changed. And there are other areas as well. And it seemed to have nothing to do with each other, but yet they're all related. Because when we let go of fear in one area of our life, we let go of fear also in another. See ya.